Hi everyone, my name is Sarah and today we're going to be doing an introduction to Instagram. As I said, my name is Sarah and I work at the Bracebridge Public Library. Today we're going to be doing an introduction to Instagram. So we'll look at how to download the app, how to log in or create an account. We'll also look at how to upload your first photo and use filters. We'll also talk about hashtags. You can use Instagram on your mobile device, you can use it on your tablet, your smartphone, and it doesn't matter if you have an Android or an iOS or Apple device. You can access your Instagram account from a computer as well. You won't be able to upload any photos from your computer to your account without any fancy workarounds. So today we'll just be looking at how to access Instagram from your mobile device. So if you grab your tablet or your smartphone, we'll get started. So for this video, I'll be looking at using an iPad for downloading and using Instagram. It is a very similar process to using it on an Android device. So let's go ahead and get the app. If you're using an iPad or an iPhone, you want to go to the App Store. If you are using an Android device, you want to go to Google Play. So you can search for Instagram. So you can type in Instagram and you'll see it will pop up. It will give you the name of the company, tell you some information about the app, reviews. But for now, let's just go to say get. Now I have downloaded it earlier today, so mine just says open, but you'll either have a little cloud with an arrow or it will say get. After you've downloaded Instagram for the first time, you'll have to create an account. You might see a screen that is similar to this, where you'll have the choice of either logging in or signing up for an account. Now you do have different options for signing up or logging in. You can log in with your Facebook account, or you can create a separate account using either your phone number or your email. You'll also have to add your name and create a username and password. Now, because there are many people using Instagram, it may take a little while to get a unique username. I have already logged into our Bracebridge Public Library account. Once you have logged in, your account will look slightly different from this. We have been using Instagram for a little while, so we already have people that we follow. We already have accounts that follow us, and we also have photos that we've uploaded before. So if you're logging in for the very first time, your page here will be pretty blank. What we have on this page up at the top is a camera. Over here, it looks like a little paper airplane, and those are our messages. We have stories across the top, and those can be videos or photos. Here you can see we have our feed, so some of these are sponsored. But there's also ones from people that you are following. Now, anytime that you see a post or a picture with these little tiny dots underneath, that is an indication that there are more pictures than just that one single picture. So you can swipe over to the side and you can find more. So this is from a local business, and they're doing Mother's Day gifts for moms who love cats. There are also lots of other ones. This is from a local nursery. And there's other groups as well here. Now all of these can be found underneath the little house icon on the bottom. So if you find you want to go to the top, you can just hit that little house. We also have a magnifying glass, and that lets you search different things.
If you wanted to search for an account to follow, if you're looking for a movie star, if you're looking for even something that you're interested in, you can search that here. So if you like libraries, you'll see when I type in library, a whole bunch of different library accounts pop up. So the top ones, we have different accounts. We also have tags. We'll talk about tagging once we have started uploading a photo. And then we also have places. Now, if you just go to search, it will give you what they think you might want to see. And this is based off of the things that you've liked and the people that you follow and things that are popular right now. We're going to skip the middle button for right now and move on to the heart. So the heart is just if they've liked your photos, if they've commented on your photos, that's what the heart's about. And finally we have the little person, and that is all of your photos. So anytime you have a picture, it will show up here. So you can see all the pictures that you have posted in the past. And then also at the top here, you have all the times that you've been tagged. So if we look at this one, we can see this post was created by Visit the Bridge, but they tagged the Bracebridge Public Library in it because the library appears in the photo, and also because the photo from the 1970s came from the Bracebridge Public Library. Now we can actually see here a good example of tags and hashtags. So there are two different kinds of tags that people use on Instagram. One has a little hash mark, and that's like a number sign or a pound key. And you'll see they have done that with Now and Then and Bracebridge and Visit the Bridge. This lets you tag things. So Bracebridge is here, so if we tapped on Bracebridge, we would get all the different posts that have been tagged with Bracebridge. Here you also see some with an @ sign in front of them. So if we tap on that, it will take us to a person or an organization that has an Instagram account. So the @ sign is used to connect different accounts or different people, and the hashtag is used to connect different things. So here's another example from ours. We posted about a scavenger hunt, and then we tagged it with Sunday scavenger hunt and scavenger hunt. So anything that has been tagged with Sunday scavenger hunt will come up. Now sometimes these tags are arbitrary and sometimes they mean things. There are some short forms like TBT, which means Throwback Thursday. There are also some that people make up. People have some for their pets, for events like weddings or parties, and different things. It's a really great way of collecting different photos together. So if you do use one for your pet, you can also make a whole Instagram account for your pet. But if you don't have that many photos, you can use a special and unique tag, and that will let you see all the different photos that you have of your pet or of maybe your wedding or something like that. And then people can look at the complete photos that you have on Instagram for that thing. Let's go ahead and hit that center button now. When you hit that center button for the first time, it will ask you whether or not it can access your storage or your files, your media, something like that. And that will allow you to upload any photos that you have saved on your device onto your Instagram account. So you do want to give it permission for that. You can also use the photo option down here or the video option, and that lets you take a picture through the Instagram account instead of using one that you already have saved on there. One thing to note is that Instagram defaults to a square photo, so you can move it up and down by just dragging your finger up or down on the photo. if you do really need it to be the full size, you can give it a little pinch and then you'll get the full size of the photo. But usually it defaults to a square, and squares are generally good. So let's say I want this picture of the library shelves, and you can hit next and back at the top as you add your photos. Now it's not a great picture, it's kind of boring, and so what I'll want to do is add a filter to it. So you can see as I go along that sometimes it makes it black and white, sometimes it makes it a little washed out, sometimes it makes it very vibrant. So using filters is a great way of taking your photos to the next level. It also helps you create kind of a mood for your Instagram account. This is especially important if you're using it for a business or an organization. But we'll talk about using it for a business or an organization a little bit more in our next video. So if you find a filter that you like, we're going to say next. And then it's time to write your caption, tag anything, and then post it. So you can write a caption and you can just type in whatever you would like. So I said, here are shelves, and then I'm going to use that little hashtag. I'm going to say bookshelf. Now I read once that usually 3 hashtags is pretty good. You don't want to overwhelm people with hashtags, and a lot of times you do want to use a hashtag so your picture can be found. If you don't want your picture to be found by other people and you have a private account, then you can just leave it. Hashtags can be a really great way of helping with your photos though. If you take a picture of a weird bug or a weird bird, there's hashtags for getting help and identifying something. And that lets you connect with a larger community, which is really what social media is all about. So if you wanted to add a location, you can add a location here. Now all of these are totally optional. To post something, you do have to have a photo or an image. So that is the minimum requirement of making a post. Instagram isn't like Facebook or like Twitter where you can just put a bunch of words up. You do need some sort of image to initiate your post. But you really don't need a caption if you don't want a caption. You don't need to use any hashtags, you don't need to tag anybody, you don't need to add a location, anything like that. That's entirely up to you. If you have connected it with another account, you do have these options down here. So you can also post it to Facebook, Twitter, or Tumblr. Lots of people do post pictures both to Facebook and to Instagram. Some people keep them separate. It's entirely up to you based on your preference. Finally, when you're done, you're going to hit share. You can always go back if you decide that you don't want it, and you can say discard. Now, if you're thinking about different accounts to follow, there's lots of great ones. There are a lot of different authors. If you like books, there are different movie stars who have Instagram accounts. You can follow Instagram accounts for local businesses, which is especially helpful for them for right now. You can also follow other things like popular magazines. So if you like travel or if you like nature, you can look up National Geographic. And they have some really great photos. There's National Geographic Travel as well if you like travel photos. If you're a CBC fan, there's lots of different CBC accounts for Instagram. They have just regular CBC news, music, books, and even more. So there's tons of different things that you can follow there. Now we are following lots of different people, lots of local businesses. We're following the Owl Pen books. We're following Sunset Cruises, the Yarn Store, and lots of other things. So following local businesses is a great way of keeping in touch with them. Lots of times you'll see promotions, and that's really fun. So there'll be different contests that you can enter to win So here's an example from a little while ago. The Muskoka Bearware had a coloring contest. So they have a whole bunch of information about how the contest was being run. A lot of times you'll see rules for contests. Sometimes they'll say tag a friend, sometimes they'll say follow us. So you'll just have to be aware of what they're asking for. So Instagram is a great way of connecting with people, connecting with friends and family, businesses, and different organizations. It lets you know what's happening in their lives, and usually it's also pretty nice to look at. So that was our video. Thank you so much for watching and tuning in. If you have any questions, please just ask them below in the comments. If you have liked it, feel free to like our video. If you're looking for more videos, we have made some on the different e-resources that the library has. You can access those on our YouTube channel. And our next video will be looking more in depth at Instagram. So instead of just adding a filter to your photo, we'll look at how to edit it. We'll also look at Instagram stories, and we'll look at how to use Instagram if you are using it for your business or your organization. So we'll see you next time, and thank you so much for tuning in. Take care. Bye.